Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, I'm back from vacation. I'm a little bit under the weather, but that doesn't stop the news. And we'll start out by talking about Xbox One emulation with Xwine1. Now this is technically not an emulator, it's more of a translation layer. But anyways, here Xwine1 allows you to play Xbox One games on PC. So here is their official launch tweet, and they say introducing Xwine1, an Xbox One translation layer for Windows PCs. Currently 6 games are fully playable, with others reaching logos and in-game. The Xwine1 team has provided some screenshots of some games up and running. Included in those is Minecraft and, of course, Sonic Mania. It almost seems like every single emulator tries to emulate Sonic Mania first before attempting other games. Additionally, they provided some footage of some games up and running, including Minecraft, and it's looking pretty good and rendering well. Now, Xwine1 is currently closed source, but I'm pretty sure the development team plans to open source it at some point in time. I just don't know when. And on top of that, I don't know the release date, the system specs, or really much else. I'll be paying close attention to this one, and as soon as I know more, you'll know more. And on a quick side note here, there's a great post on Reddit listing the Xbox One exclusives. There are some exclusives on the system. It's not like every single game released on PC, one of those being Halo 5. Moving on, and we're talking about a brand new Sonic fan game, and this one's called Sonic UltraSaturn. It is available for PC here, and it's a brand new 2D Sonic game with some real cool 3D-ish effects. Sonic UltraSaturn is up over on Sonic Fan Games HQ, and like everything I talk about, link will be in the description below. Next up, we're talking about Valve's unreleased hero shooter Deadlock, and cheating seems to be a massive problem still in this game. We've talked about cheating before in this game, and people have been putting together compilations of a lot of people cheating. From aimbots to curving bullets around buildings, cheating just seems to be at the forefront of Deadlock. It's not a good look for Valve, and I'm very curious to see what they're going to do about it. Now, cheating in online games is kind of a normal thing these days, but this game is currently in alpha, and it's already got a cheating problem. It's ridiculous. Anyways, if you are caught cheating, if I'm not mistaken, you, along with anyone you've invited, are automatically banned. And it might actually go the other way as well with someone who's invited you. Now, it's obviously not a great thing to be having a game filled with cheaters so far, but at the same time, some people seem to be really enjoying the game. If you've played Deadlock, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. And if you've encountered cheaters, let me know in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about a brand new Linux laptop, and that's the newly announced KDE Slimbook VI. This features the AMD Ryzen 8845HS processor in it, and it starts at about $1,100. Now, from my understanding, the Slimbook VI is the exact same as the Excalibur. However, a portion of the profits are donated to the KDE project, which may be beneficial if you're interested in Linux. Now, I don't necessarily think that this is going to be a gaming powerhouse, but it might be a pretty good all-arounder, especially if you're looking for a Linux purpose-built laptop. Next up, we're talking about Oxenfree, which is a supernatural thriller game that was released back in 2016 by Night Owl Studio. Night Owl Studios was purchased by Netflix. Now, this game on Steam has very positive overall reviews, and it was just delisted off itch.io. I mean, if you head on over to the itch.io page, you can see that it's no longer up, and if you've picked this up from itch.io, I don't know if you've still got access. If you do, let me know in the comments below. So someone over on Steam shared the email that was sent out to people who own the game over on itch.io. Oxenfree will no longer be available on itch.io beginning October 1st, 2024. If you've already downloaded the game, you'll be able to keep it and continue to play from your downloaded files. If you have not already done so, you can download files until October 1st, 2024 to keep the game. That means if you purchase the game after October 1st, you can't re-download it. And that is a pretty big thing. I mean, let's be real here. Games get delisted all the time. As a gamer, it's not necessarily a good thing. It's a pretty bad thing. It can be a frustrating thing. However, oftentimes when you buy a game and it gets delisted, you can often still download it again. It's in your library, I don't want to say forever, but for a pretty long period of time. This is a very short notice and not a long period of time whatsoever. And I would say it's one of the big problems where when you buy a game, you don't technically own it. You own a license to play it. Unfortunately, there was no clear reason as to why it was being delisted from itch.io and why someone who purchased the game can no longer download it after October 1st. I mean, that's not a good look at all, and it's something I don't agree with. I don't understand why they're doing this, and if it's in regards to licensing or something, why hasn't a similar announcement been made on something like Steam? But let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I mean, this is a very short heads up, unless this email was sent out months ago, but I don't think it was. Next up, we're talking about Naruto RPG 2 for the Nintendo DS. Now, Naruto RPG 1 and 3 were translated to English, but 2 never was, until now. There's an unofficial fan translation that has just dropped. I'll drop a link to the YouTube video in the description below, and feel free to check it out. It may be a game you didn't know existed, or it may have been a game that you wish was translated to English. Well, now the wait is no longer. You don't have to wait for it anymore because the patch is out. The description of that video has all of the relevant links and instructions on what to do if you are curious about learning more about it. And speaking about fan stuff, next up we're talking about Black Myth Wukong. And this game has received a whole bunch of mods lately, including one that places Kratos in the game, including his axe. And the overall integration here actually looks pretty good. Like, if I didn't know any better, I would say that the game featured him in the first place based on how this cutscene is playing out. In addition to that, there's been some other characters modded in, like Goku here, and I would argue that it looks like Goku shouldn't be in this game at all. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. The mods are all up on Nexus Mods. And speaking about stuff that doesn't look quite right, next up here we're talking about a very interesting fan mod. And this is a game of Silent Hill 2 mixed with FIFA 98. I'm not joking with you. So here's the gameplay. The game is currently in development, and it looks absolutely wild. It looks ridiculous and something I might be interested in checking out. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. It's currently in development, it's not finished, and I don't have a release date for you. But it looks to be shaping up very nicely. It's weirdly interesting. Next up here, we're talking about Baldur's Gate 3, and I wish more developers did stuff like the Baldur's Gate 3 team is doing. So recently they released the modding toolkit, and someone built on top of that and created an unlocked modding toolkit available over on Nexus Mods. Now, based on this stuff, I'm assuming that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be around for a long time and be very popular for a long time, because I think stuff like this helps increase the popularity of the game and overall interest. I mean, if you don't believe me, take a look at games like Skyrim and Minecraft and other ones that allow you to mod to your heart's content. Those games continue to be popular and continue to be huge sellers. Anyways, here this unlocked modder unlocks all features and write permissions for the Baldur's Gate 3 toolkit, including level editing, save editing, and more. So we're probably going to see a whole bunch of custom levels. And speaking about publishers doing good things, next up we're talking about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Now, this game has been plagued with a whole bunch of connection issues for people trying to access the game and for people who purchased the early access gold version of the game. So over on Steam, they published an update about server issues and compensation. And they say here, today we can finally inform you that the quality of most services has significantly improved since the official launch of the early unlock. The percentage of players successfully logged in has increased from 45%. That is awful. That's a super low number. Just for 3 hours after launch to a steady 96%. I would like to see 100%. 45% is just brutal. Anyways, here for people who have purchased this, they say they will be offering in-game compensation to all affected players. Now, unfortunately, we don't know what that compensation is going to be, whether it's in-game currency, a special car, a special title, or possibly a combination of all of that stuff. I mean, if it was just a 3-hour window, I don't think that's a big deal, and I think compensation like that would be absolutely fine. However, if this is still a problem and there are still connection issues and this statement isn't necessarily true, then I would hope they'd be compensating people who can't connect with a refund of the early access portion of the game. And speaking about compensation, if you've got $1,024 sitting around that you just want to spend on something possibly absolutely ridiculous, then this might be up your alley. Someone has apparently made a GeForce GT 730 graphics card into a purse or a plastic handbag. I really don't know if this is real or just a joke here. I don't know how much this purse can actually hold considering it's got a frickin' GPU in it. And I don't know if they're actually selling this, but anyways, it seems like this may exist, and well, let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. But moving on from something that may not exist or may exist to something that does exist, and that's leaked gameplay from Crazy Taxi Remake and the Shinobi Remake. And leaked gameplay footage has surfaced online, and once it's online, good luck taking it down. I'll drop a link to the DSO gaming page in the description below, and feel free to check it out. There may be some spoilers here, there may not be. Now, I will say that this is early gameplay and may not be reflective of the final product, but at the same time here, it gives me an idea of what exactly to expect. For example, for the Shinobi remake, it seems more like a hand-drawn art style and one that looks interesting. And the Crazy Taxi one, well, it looks a little bit rough, but at the same time, it seems it may shape up to something that is arcadey fun. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and the one fluff. Here she is, safe sounding, nice and happy. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.